So you're in training. Are you in training for a fight? Are you in camp? Is that secret? What's going on?
Are we recording now, are we?
Yeah. We're recording now.
We're live, yeah, we're live. Yeah, we'll give you a heads up.
Sneaky. I'm training. I'm training well. I suppose it's my first week back since, well, week and a half back now since the last fight. So I was in recovery mode. I think everyone knows I put up a post. I had an injury. So I'm.
Are you happy with the recovery of that injury? Are you back to full health? How is that going?
Yeah, no, I am, which is great. It's quite a serious injury. It was one that I was strongly recommended to get surgery on. They said there was a prospect of recovery of it recovering itself. But I was strongly recommended to have surgery. I didn't take up that option, and it's after recovering itself now, which is great.
Great news.
Just like Wolverine.
Are ISETs on Dublin for February or for January? Sorry.
February. It's February 22nd.
February. Excuse me. Yeah. Sorry, I was right. Sorry.
Let's see what happens. Look, what I will say is I'm one of the biggest draws in Ireland. I draw eyes to the fight. Both inside the cage and outside the cage. Look, we all know the last fight it wasn't my best performance. There was reasons behind that in regards to the injury. That's not representative of how I fight. I think Bellator were pissed off. I hid the injury from Bellator. I hid the injury from my coaches. And it only came out subsequent to the fight that I'd hit it for a few reasons. I knew Vagina Page wouldn't have taken the fight again. So the objective was just to antagonise him and hope he came out all guns blazing and catch him with a left hook. But he was able to tell in there my movement was hindered.
And leading up to the fight with training, you obviously weren't able to train 100% either.
No, I wasn't. So I did I'd say my first sparring session was about 2 weeks out and was minimal. There was no contact. I deceived my coaches, so I told them I was training elsewhere. I was doing kickboxing elsewhere. So needless to say, they were pissed off. But look, I explained my reasons. I had to explain to Bellator as well the reasons I deceived those and I deceived them in the medicals. So look, it is what it is.
So you're kind of lucky to be actually getting back in the octagon.
Sorry?
Would you say you're kind of lucky to be getting back in after kind of deceiving a few people, like higher up people that would say, look, man, you can't do that kind of shit?
I explained my reasons. I explained my reasons. I had my reasons for it, Not so much. I'm lucky in terms of the injury I had that I'm getting back in.
Yeah.
That I'm able to get back in. That's why I'm lucky. Look, I'm not the first one. I'm not going to make excuse. Look, it is what it is. I went out there. I got, I put it on the line. You say what you want about it. You can't fault my courage.
No.
There's very few else that people would win a caliber fighter Michael Van Page with one arm.
Well, that's the thing with the knockout. With the early knockout, that we saw you on the Lewis after, like going to town for a few points. So obviously it wasn't a massive. You didn't take that much damage off it. It was just you recovered very fast off it.
No, I was recovered straight away. Like it was a stunner, and I dropped. But I was compos mentis as soon as I hit the ground. It was by no means a knockout. Look, I'm not arguing with the stoppage. It would have inevitably happened, based on my ability to compete in the fight.
It was also one of those that looked much worse than it was as well. I think when you watch it, it looked, especially considering how quickly you bounced back up to your feet. But you can understand why it was stopped, because it looked worse than it was.
No, that's not the look. If you were to ask me if I was compass, like if I went in all guns, if I went in with a full complement of health, I'd been very unhappy with the stoppage. But I can understand. Like in retrospect now, it's the fact that I wasn't able to compete, I wasn't able to be competitive in there, based on the injury. I can understand. That's why I'm philosophical about this stoppage. But I didn't take any damage. I took a knee to the chin, but it was up straight away. Like I would have been competitive. if that was, if I was in there with full complement of health, yes, I would have been annoyed with the stoppage. But look, it is what it is. I'm philosophical about it now.
Last week, you DM'd us like immediately after Bellator, and you're like, make sure he comes to FightCon.
Make sure he comes to the fight camp.
Yeah.
Make sure he does. Make sure he does. I'll give him a hairy side of hand. My bad hand.
So we need some extra security if you boys are there, is it?
What?
We need some extra security if you two boys are there.
Well, look, the way it is. Like, he wouldn't have taken that fight again. He was very, very lucky in terms of he went in against a very compromised fighter, and he's gone up, get high five himself. It's a different fight. He's fighting someone with full complement of health with a full training camp behind him. Effectively, he went in against the guy with no training camp and no use of the right arm and a severe injury in his neck.
And do you think he'll ever want to run it back with you, or is it kind of just he'll wave you off?
He won't want to run it back. Listen, he knows that he got off lightly. Like, in terms of, he had gone in there against me in a full fight camp, you're dealing with a completely different fighter. You're dealing with a fighter who knows a style, that can move like him. I was like, when we were in there, I was surprised at how, he wasn't as fast as I suspected he was going to be. I could see his shots coming. His timing was good. But he wasn't as quick. So in terms of speed, I would have easily have competed with him. Well, like I said, there's no point in saying this now. Like the fight is coming past, But I see him again, I will give him a hairy side of hand. And watch him. You jump in beside security again. Watch, typical.
And like over the whole thing during the fight, the point deduction. Did you feel that was right? Even though you started supposedly you started the antagonism. Yeah, well, he got deducted a point, didn't he, for the stupid selfie thing he did?
What a dickhead. Well, look, I don't give
That's the game kind of thing. You both antagonize each other, and then...
I didn't personalise that. Look, I gave him the finger. Like, the reason I gave him the finger was because he had copped in there. I think that my movement was compromised. And then he had started showboating, so I had gave him the finger, deliberately trying to antagonise him, hoping he'd come in. He didn't. He's, in fairness to him, he was cute enough not to. He realised the danger was there, but had it caught him, he would have had it caught him with left. He'd have been knocked out.
So look, before we let you go, you obviously can't say too much, but let's say hypothetically, in Fantasyland, if you were to fight in February at Bellator, who would you ideally like to go in there with?
Yeah, a name or two, just so you don't say any names specifically.
A name or two. Well, look, I suppose one that really makes sense would be Terence. Terence Brazier. He's coming off a loss. I'm coming off a loss. Two big names that the two of us have been dancing around each other. We called each other out back and forth the last 3 years. I think that's a fight that would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, perfect. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
We appreciate it. And we'll be. Do you mind if we keep in contact back and forth, get you contributing here and there on some things?
No, of course. And of course, it'll be my pleasure. I'm looking forward to another great adventure room. I'm looking forward to giving Michael Venom Page a wedgie and robbing us lunch money. Before
you go, any kind of thoughts on Conor Cerrone announcement? Is there a buzz around the gym?
Yeah, there's a buzz around the gym. There is a buzz around the gym. Look, I think it's probably not the best kept secret in the world, but I strongly fancy Conor for that fight. I just think, that's not to say Cerrone's a great fighter, but I just think Conor beats him everywhere. And apart from that, I think Cerrone's the type of fighter that can be beat before he gets into the cage. And I think he's admitted that. And I think Conor is very adept at beating people before they get into the cage.
We saw that with Nate Diaz, didn't we?
Aldo, I think, more than anyone. Okay. He had Aldo mentally destroyed, yeah.
Conor beat Aldo before the fight, but Diaz beat Cerrone before the fight as well.
Yeah, mentally, yeah.
So, you see it with Till as well. I think Cerrone was beaten before he got into the fight with Till. So look, I strongly, and anything can happen. Cerrone's a very, very competent fighter. He's very, very good. His record speaks for itself. But I would strongly favour Conor to put him away.
Perfect. We appreciate your time.
Thanks a million.
Thanks, boys.
Have a good one, man.
Chat you soon.
Best luck in training. Cheers.